Not your role, not your responsibility, not the pastor, not the community leader.
It was a Sunday morning filled with warmth and anticipation at Fellowship Church, a place where the congregation gathered weekly to uplift their spirits and renew their faith. Pastor Charles Jenkins had been preaching with his usual passion, his voice resonating through the sanctuary, drawing every listener into the message of hope and encouragement. But as the sermon reached a particularly moving point, something unexpected happened. His hand tightened slightly on the pulpit, and his voice began to quiver. At first, no one thought much of it, assuming it was part of the intensity and emotion of the sermon. But within moments, Pastor Jenkins leaned forward, and it became clear that he needed immediate attention. The congregation quickly realized something was wrong. Calm turned into concern, and concern into a flurry of care, as ushers and trained medical volunteers stepped forward to ensure his safety. Members of the congregation immediately offered support, praying quietly while helping stabilize him until professional medical assistance could arrive. Immediate response. In the minutes that followed, paramedics arrived at the church, bringing their calm expertise to the scene. What had started as a typical morning service transformed into a moment of unity and concern as the church family gathered around in prayer and hope. Congregants stood together, offering words of encouragement and holding hands in silent solidarity. Outside, the early sunlight caught the flashing lights of the ambulance, reflecting the gravity of the situation while the community kept a quiet vigil, rooted in faith and care for their pastor. It was a moment of both fear and hope, a reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of communal support. The hospital and family support. At the hospital, Pastor Jenkins was quickly admitted and closely monitored. Family members were by his side, offering gentle comfort and unwavering presence. His wife, composed yet emotional, requested privacy while remaining supportive, encouraging the church and broader community to continue their prayers. Church leaders and elders visited the hospital, coordinating updates for the congregation and providing reassurance. The medical team worked diligently, emphasizing the importance of patience and careful observation. Meanwhile, members of the church maintained a sense of hope, knowing that the presence of loved ones and the prayers of many would bring strength during this delicate time. A community united in prayer. Back at Fellowship Church and across the city, the response was immediate. Members gathered to pray, lighting candles and singing softly, their voices carrying hope and love into the evening. Social media became a conduit for encouragement, as well-wishers shared messages of support and solidarity. Hashtags celebrating prayer and encouragement for Pastor Jenkins quickly emerged, reflecting the collective concern and compassion of a wider community. Stories of his impact, guidance, and mentorship circulated, reminding everyone of the deep connections he had built over the years. The unity and love expressed through these actions demonstrated the true strength of the church community and the wider gospel network. Reflecting on leadership and responsibility. As Pastor Jenkins began to show signs of improvement, discussions among church leaders and members naturally turned toward reflection. His sudden health scare prompted many to consider the broader responsibilities of ministry leadership. Insiders noted that Pastor Jenkins had been balancing a demanding schedule, including preaching, traveling, and attending various commitments, all while striving to remain fully present for his congregation. This experience highlighted the importance of acknowledging personal limits and the need for rest, even for those dedicated to spiritual service. Rather than focus on fault, the conversation shifted toward understanding how leaders could be supported and cared for, recognizing the human side of ministry. Messages of encouragement. Messages of love and encouragement poured in from fellow pastors, gospel artists, and community leaders. Stories of collaboration, mentorship, and shared faith underscored the impact Pastor Jenkins had on countless lives. Even those who had only briefly encountered him shared heartfelt words, expressing gratitude for his guidance and inspiration. These gestures, both large and small, created an atmosphere of hope, reminding everyone that no one stands alone, and that community and care extend beyond the walls of the church. The power of faith and reflection. The incident also sparked conversations about faith, resilience, and the importance of balance in life. Members of the congregation reflected on their own routines and commitments, recognizing the value of self-care and the need to support one another. Church leaders encouraged everyone to consider how their own actions might either add to or alleviate the pressures faced by those in ministry. The focus shifted toward building a sustainable environment, one in which leaders could thrive without neglecting their well-being, and where the community could share in responsibilities with compassion and understanding. Moving forward with care. While Pastor Jenkins remained under careful observation, the leadership of Fellowship Church began thoughtful planning for the weeks ahead. Temporary arrangements for services and pastoral care were discussed, emphasizing the importance of continuity while respecting the recovery process. The congregation embraced these changes with patience and understanding, valuing both the health of their pastor and the strength of their collective faith. Conversations about delegation, teamwork, and shared responsibilities emerged, reinforcing the idea that leadership is most effective when supported by a strong, caring community. A testament to human strength. One of the most poignant moments came when Pastor Jenkins, though still weak, was able to express gratitude to those around him. His words, simple yet deeply meaningful, reminded everyone of the love and connection shared within the church family. It was a moment that underscored the resilience of the human spirit and the profound power of compassion, prayer, and solidarity. Every small improvement in his condition was celebrated, not as a spectacle, but as a genuine acknowledgement of collective support and hope. Lessons for the community. This experience provided the congregation and wider community with an opportunity for reflection. Beyond the immediate concern for Pastor Jenkins' health, it highlighted the importance of recognizing human limits and extending care and support to those in positions of responsibility. Church leaders shared lessons learned about the need for balanced schedules, rest, and mental well-being, reinforcing the principle that service to others is most meaningful when it is sustainable and mindful of personal health. Reaffirming community values. As the days passed, Fellowship Church reaffirmed its commitment to nurturing both spiritual growth and holistic care. Programs were introduced to ensure that leaders and volunteers had access to rest, guidance, and mental health resources. Congregants were encouraged to check in on one another, to share responsibilities, and to celebrate moments of joy together. The experience had inspired a cultural shift, emphasizing the value of interconnectedness and mutual support, as essential components of faith and service. Continuing the journey, Pastor Jenkins' road to recovery was gradual, marked by moments of strength and careful progress. Each small step was met with gratitude, prayers, and encouragement from those who had witnessed the Sunday morning incident. The church, in turn, embraced a renewed sense of purpose, focusing on collective growth, compassion, and the well-being of its community. The narrative of that morning transformed into a story of resilience, love, and the power of shared care, reminding everyone that even moments of vulnerability can lead to deeper connections and lasting change. A message of hope. Through this experience, the congregation and wider community were reminded that life can shift unexpectedly, but the strength of human connection, faith, and compassion endures. Pastor Jenkins' journey reflected the intersection of vulnerability and perseverance, inspiring others to prioritize well-being alongside service. As he gradually returned to his ministry, the lessons of that Sunday morning became woven into the fabric of the church's culture, a permanent reminder that care for oneself and others is integral to meaningful leadership. Embracing a shared future today, Fellowship Church continues to thrive, grounded in the principles of shared responsibility, empathy, and thoughtful leadership. Pastor Jenkins' story serves as a gentle beacon, encouraging communities to honor both spiritual dedication and human limits. It reminds everyone that even when challenges arise, collective care, prayer, and compassion can transform moments of uncertainty into lasting strength, hope, and unity.